Hello everyone. Welcome to the movie recap. In 2011, robots attacked the world, and a war ensued, which lasted 11 days. Many people died because of this war, and they gave those who survived orders to stay inside their homes or risk being killed by the robots within 10 seconds of being spotted. As the movie moves forward, a humanistic robot comes on the screen and tells the viewers that robots have come to study Earth. The robot further adds that once they are done with their research, they'll leave Earth. Afterward, a drunk man comes out of his house in heavy rain and starts bashing at the robots, accusing them of killing his wife. A robotic drone appears and gives the man 10 seconds to return to his home. They show all humans to have a round electric device attached to their necks, which the robots use for detection. The man's son, named Connor, starts shouting at him to come inside while the drone starts its countdown. As he refuses to go back, the drone attacks him, and he dies. Connor runs to his dead father and starts crying. Meanwhile, the neighbors, Kate and her son, Sean, see them and shout at Connor to come inside, but Connor refuses to leave his dead father's side. Just in time, a man named Robin Smythe appears and orders the robot to leave the boy alone. The drone leaves, and Kate asks Smythe to allow her to keep Connor with them. Sean's friends, Nathan and Alexandra, get into an argument with Smythe, as Nathan calls him a collaborator since he works for the robots. As Smythe is about to leave, Sean asks him if he knows anything about his father, since he believes that his father is alive. However, Smythe denies having any information about it. The next morning, Connor shifts to their home, and the day goes by. After a while, Sean visits his mom's room and finds out that she has been crying and missing their dad. This breaks something inside him. He takes some balls and tears them to put papers inside them. Those papers have Sean's father's sketch inside and a note that says if anyone knows about where he is, please inform them. He then throws the balls out with the help of elastics so that if anyone finds the ball, they inform Sean's family. Sean, after that, starts to build up his stamina by constantly exercising, thinking about fighting off the aliens one day. However, a few days later, Sean, Nathan, Alexandra, and Connor repair their PlayStation, during which Nathan gets an electric shock and falls to the ground. The electric shock causes his device to shut down. Everyone rejoices over the new discovery and then gets electrically shocked enough to turn off their own devices as well. Afterward, the kids sneak out and visit a nearby building. There they enjoy some chocolates and discover a ball that Sean had thrown earlier. He opens the paper, and it states that if he needs any information about his father, Danny, he should go to the school. Sean decides to go and asks everyone to leave for home. Nathan agrees. However, Alexandra says that they shouldn't leave Sean alone in this time of need. The group then goes to the school and spots a man carrying files to some drawers. They follow the man, and once he is gone, the group searches the drawers where they find files of people having red crosses upon them. The red crosses indicate dead people. Upon further searching, Sean spots his father's file, which, fortunately enough for him, doesn't have a red cross on it. Just as Sean starts to locate where his father was last spotted, the devices on their necks activate and robots come to pick them up. At that exact moment, Smythe also appears and saves the group once again from the deadly attack of the robots. Connor escapes while Smythe ties Sean, Nathan, and Alexandra with chains and inquires about how they turned off their devices. As the kids refuse to answer, Smythe brings an old man named Mike, a relative to Nathan, and replaces his electronic device with another one. He then puts the man into a scanner which can read all his thoughts. Once the scan is done, the old man falls to the ground. The humanistic robot earlier shown on TV appears and informs everyone that the old man will now eventually die out of natural causes. He'll stay in a coma for a while, and will be so weak that he won't be able to feed himself, after which he will perish. Afterward, Smythe changes Sean's device and puts him in the scanner. Meanwhile, Connor prepares fire in the school's lab. Back to Scene, as the scanner is about to start. Scene begins to blame Smythe for killing his own son and wife. This enrages him, and he goes towards the scanner to kill Scene. But as the scanner is on, Smith hits it and falls to the ground. This hit causes the scanner to shut down, and Scene escapes as Connor brings some DIY rockets to shoot Smythe and other collaborators. Simultaneously, Nathan turns on the gas pipes of the school and, before escaping, puts a lighter inside, which causes a big blast. After escaping, the kids visit a bowling arcade. There, they electrocute themselves again, since the devices activate themselves after 11 hours. A few days later, they reach the hotel where Danny is being held. The hotel has lots of people dancing and clubbing. As the people see the kids, they move ahead to attack them. But a man named Wayne appears and shoots in the air to stop the attack. Upon noticing that the boys' devices were off, he takes them to Monique, their supposed leader. Scene shows Danny's picture to Monique, who tells them that she'll give them the trace once the boys tell her how they turn off the devices. As per the deal, Connor teaches them how to turn off the device, and Monique takes them to meet a man named Swanee, who is in a wheelchair. Swanee and Danny used to be friends. Swanee tells them to follow the lake and speaks incoherent words like a watchmaker. After a while, Smythe and the other collaborators, along with Kate, come to the hotel and ask for Scene. A man tries to report Sean to Smythe, but Wayne saves him. Smythe announces that he is taking Kate to the castle, and the curfew resumes. Afterward, Scene aims to save his mother first, and then his father. With Monique and her companion's assistance, the children safely make it to the woods undetected by the robots. The scene shifts, and they show the castle where Kate is being held captive. Smythe informs her that after the robots leave, they'll give him a big part of the world. He offers her to live with him and says that he will be a guardian to Scene. Later on, a young boy from Scene's school comes to visit Kate and serves her food. Kate asks him to give her the prison keys and successfully manipulates him into leaving her alone. On the other hand, the kids, on their way to the castle, are about to be attacked by a robot, but the realization dawns upon Scene that he can control the movements of the robot due to his changed device. Scene brings the huge robot to the castles, since he can now control it, and calls Smythe outside. He makes Smythe and his men drop the weapons and fights them off. He notices that, along with the huge robot, he can also control the small robots and makes them destroy each other. After a while, Kate comes outside on a horse and rushes away without noticing the kids. This gives Smythe a chance to run away, and he escapes. The kids, after putting up a big fight with the robots, finally rush after Kate and reunite with her. From there on, they start their journey to find Scene's father. Meanwhile, Smythe reaches the factory where robots are being formed and trained in bulk. Smythe informs the humanistic robot about Scene, and the robot orders him to bring Scene to it. It warns him that if he fails to do so, it will scan Smythe as well, which will ultimately cause his death. On the other hand, Scene and the team reach the stones which Swanee talked about earlier. The stones have just the initials of the survivors written on them, and nothing else. Connor successfully decodes everything and finds out where the lake Swanee talked about would be. On their way to the lake, Connor notices a boy who, upon being noticed, runs away. The group, upon following him, reaches a place where they find a Spitfire, a plane-like machine made by Danny to throw fire on the robots. A man with arrows comes and Scene tells him he's looking for Danny. Fortunately enough, the family reunites, and Danny takes them to a settlement where other people are living. On their way, they see a robotic drone, and everyone hides. Then, Danny informs the group about Donald, who removes the electronic devices. The first person to get rid of the device is Connor, and after him, everyone follows. Meanwhile, Smythe catches Wayne and does a scan on him. He finds out about the settlements and reaches there with his army of robots and the humanistic robot. He asks everyone to bring Scene forward, or he'll attack them all. As they search for Scene, it is shown that he has gone to a field and has reattached his device to his neck. He then controls the main robot facility with his device and enters the scene. The humanistic robot on a drone comes towards Scene and asks him to join his army, but Scene declines and in response controls the humanistic robot. The robot then falls to the ground and Scene can spot and connect to all the robots in the world. On the other hand, as Scene reaches the settlement, the robot army shoots at his facility. Moreover, 2 drones also start to attack Scene. In a surprising move, Danny and Nathan on the Spitfire come and shoot the drones away. Scene makes the robot facility collide with a ship that Smythe had used earlier to warn the residents. Scene jumps out of the facility and falls on another drone he controlled with his device. While the collision takes place in the sky and the robot facility gets destroyed, Scene descends to the ground. This causes the robot army to return, and as Smythe loses control of the robots, one of the robots shoots him as well. Meanwhile, after coming to the ground, Scene again synchronizes with the humanistic robot and deactivates all the robots present worldwide. The impact causes Scene to fall to the ground, and Alexandra wakes him up by kissing him. The movie ends with everyone celebrating their freedom, and vigils being lit for the lives lost. What do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you guys next time.